I feel honored today to lead a debate on a bill for an act to establish a unified scheme for a sound financial system that will facilitate and improve credit repayment culture by empowering creditor banks to track loan defaulters' accounts in any bank in Nigeria through the means of bank verification number, recover past and due obligations without recourse to borrower, provide penalties for breaches and violations of obligations, and enhance loan recovery across banking sectors in Nigeria, and for other related matters. Mr. President, distinguished colleagues, in Nigeria, commercial and development banking system evolved to support the trading activities and economic development growth along the Nigerian coast in the late century. In fact, commercial banks are organized on a joint stock company system, primarily for the purpose of earning a profit. There was always a multiplier and downstream effects which crystallized in an explosion of funding requirement in all economic endeavors. Therefore, without doubt, the injection of fresh credit and increase in efficiency in the service delivery from every financial subsector are imperative for full realization of economic growth. My distinguished colleagues, the core of the financial system of any country are the commercial banks, because they have the potential to apply the full weight of their credit facilities for the development and growth of the country's economy. Credit is seen as the bloodstream of the banking business. It is the vital material that oils the wheel of development. The situation of Nigeria today demands an injection of a healthy bank credit and recovery system that will effectively fasten the pace of growth. Mr. President, distinguished colleagues, creditors banks lending objective is to make loans that can be prepaid while minimizing high exposure to loans with poor credit quality. However, every lending institution finds itself from time to time with loan for which the risk of loss is greater than anticipated. When the loan was made or in which the risk is greater than a lender will ordinarily willingly assume, this is because in the lending environment, there are basically two types of borrowers, the good and the bad. It is the category of borrowers that carries a risk of default on loan repayment. Mr. President, lest we forget, before the deregulation of our banking system, the ability of our banks to recover loans has been the bedrock behind the collapse of many commercial banks, with dire consequences to many innocent account holders, which have resulted in collapse of their businesses, loss of savings, and even debt. In many instances, most economies have consequently experienced high and increasing rates of unemployment as a result of such negligences of the credit system. These problems have been the main target of policy measures all these years, though at the time it becomes main focus of policy, on which was retarded as more pressing and serious each time. Today, the situation in Nigeria has become very serious and seemingly intractable, and thereby frustrate our effort as a nation towards private-driven economy, as well as economic diversification and growth. Mr. President, distinguished colleagues, in the light of the above, there is only one obvious option left for any country where policy measures failed, which is to urgently enact a legislation that will address the problems once and for all. We may all recall here there was a court judgment that gives the banks the right to take back their money from defaulters from any of the banks where they have those deposits. Mr. President, distinguished colleagues, the objectives of this bill are to establish a unified scheme for a sound financial system that will facilitate and improve credit repayment culture, empowers the creditors bank to track loan defaulters account in any bank in Nigeria through the means of bank verification number, thereby enhancing loan recovery across banking sectors, and provide penalties for breaches and violations of obligations. The overriding principle behind the introduction of this bill is to facilitate and improve credit repayment culture, reduce non-performing loans in our banking sector, streamline loan recovery, as well as watchlist consistent loan defaulters with the view to track and blacklist them. The bill has 14 clauses. Clause 1, 2, and 3 provide for objects of the bill, qualification to participate in the scheme, and issuance of global standing instruction mandates. Clause 4 and 5 provide for responsibilities of creditors' bank and eligible accounts. Clause 6 and 7 provide for responsibilities of borrower and participating financial institutions. Clauses 8 and 9 provide for responsibilities of Nigeria Interbank Settlement System and the Central Bank. Clause 10 provides for the role of Chief Risk Officer and other officers. Clause 11 provides for violations and penalties. Clause 12 provides for right of customer. Clause 13 and 14 provide for interpretation and citation. Mr. President, distinguished colleagues, in view of the foregoing explanations, I urge you all to support the speedy passage of this bill. This bill has no financial implication when passed. Thank you most sincerely for your kind attention.